Hello, welcome to Movie Summaries. Today we are summarizing a 2021 thriller action movie called Till Death. Fair warning, there are spoilers in this summary. Enjoy, and be sure to subscribe to watch more videos weekly, and hit like. The movie starts with a woman named Emma driving in her car. We see her meeting a man named Tom in a hotel room. They share a drink together, but Emma seems distracted, and tells Tom that they cannot see each other anymore. Tom tries to convince her otherwise. We learn that Emma is married, and having an affair with Tom, which is why she is breaking up with him. Emma leaves and goes to her husband's law office. The secretary hands Emma a bouquet of flowers while she waits for Mark. Mark is a successful attorney. Emma sees a police case file on her husband's desk and sneaks a peek at what it is. She finds a picture of herself, battered and bruised. Mark comments on Emma's dress, saying she isn't wearing the one he wanted her to, and tells her that she should change before their date. Wow, that was rude. He asks what she's got in her hand. It's a picture of the abuser. He tells her that her attacker's parole was revoked. The two get on an elevator to leave and run into Tom. Really, man? Sleeping with your boss's wife? Emma's anxiety starts to rise as she and Tom have to pretend that they don't know each other. Awkward. Emma changes into the red dress her husband requested. Mark slides a red velvet box across the table to Emma, who finds a steel necklace inside. He tells her it represents their 11-year marriage, being as strong as steel, and puts it on her. She in turn reveals her own gift, a pair of Super Bowl tickets to his favorite team, but he turns them down, saying that the team sucked that year. How ungrateful. A man across the restaurant proposes to his girlfriend. Emma looks longingly, remembering the times when she was happy with her husband. She goes to the bathroom and hears a girl crying in one of the stalls. When the girl comes out, we see that it is the newly engaged woman from before. Emma tells her that nothing is set in stone yet, but the woman is defensive and rude. Mark and Emma leave the restaurant, with Mark leaving the tickets on the table. Seriously? The least he can do is take them home. Outside, Mark tells Emma that he has one more surprise in her pockets, and she pulls out a blindfold. Mark drives them off into the snow, while Emma is blindfolded. She tries to ask him where they are going, but he refuses to tell her. Emma's anxiety begins to act up, and she tries to take off the blindfold, but Mark aggressively stops her. He didn't have to be so mean about it. She finally slips it off, and sees that they are approaching their lake house. Mark tells her that he hoped they could recreate some of their happy memories from the house. Once they are inside, Mark sits Emma down in the kitchen and blindfolds her once again. She takes it off to find candles and rose petals scattered everywhere. A card on the table reads, "I love you with all my heart, till death do us part." The eerie irony this holds is uncomfy. She continues through the house and stumbles upon her old darkroom, filled with pictures she'd taken as a photographer. Photos of her and Mark on their wedding day, and various trips. A record player sat waiting in the back of the room, with a card next to it reading, "Play me." Emma plays the record, and music fills the house. She makes her way upstairs, following the rose petals into the bedroom. She finds Mark waiting with 2 glasses of champagne. He offers her a drink. He knows things between them haven't been great, and he wants to make up for it. Aw, if only he meant it. They fall into the bed, embracing one another and kissing. The next morning, Emma awakens to find Mark sitting on the bed beside her. He asks her if she dreamt beautiful things, and how she slept. She sits up and finds that she is handcuffed to him. Unamused, she questions her husband. He turns to look at her and tells her it's time to wake up. Before shooting himself in the head, they fall out of the bed, and Emma screams for help as she realizes the reality of being chained to her husband's lifeless corpse. I would seriously lose my shit if that happened to me. She tries to call the cops from the landline, but finds it has been disconnected. She tries to shoot the chain, but the gun has no bullets in it. She drags Mark to the closet and finds it has been emptied out, except for a wedding dress. Behind her dress, she finds a safe. Emma uses her wedding dress and places it under Mark's body to make it easier to slide around. She tries to drag him downstairs, but ends up falling with Mark landing on top of her. She gets up and finds the front door wide open. She closes the door and finds her purse on the table. She looks for her cell phone, but Mark has put it in the flower vase underwater. Emma tries to turn it on, but with no luck. She checks every drawer and cabinet in the kitchen, but they are all empty. She empties out the trash can and finds the car keys. Excited for a possible escape, she drags Mark out to the car and gets it started, but discovers he siphoned all the gas out of the tank. This man really thought of everything. Suddenly the radio starts playing, and Mark's voice comes on over the music, which startles Emma. He explains that he planned all of this because Emma was ungrateful, and he found out about her affair with Tom. Honestly, the entire monologue just proves the guy was insane and self-absorbed. She goes back into the house and rinses the blood off of her face. She discovers that the necklace he gave her won't come off and is stuck around her neck. That's strange. Emma decides to check the basement only to find all the tools have been removed from the wall rack. She realizes that she will have to drag the body back up the stairs with her, and struggles to do so. Dead bodies are heavy. That girl has some serious muscle. She yells at Mark for being a hypocrite, as she recalls the time she washed lipstick and glitter out of his shirts. She goes back into her darkroom and finds pictures of her and Tom together, and a giant picture of her attacker Bobby on the wall. A tape recorder sits, with a Play Me card on top of it. Emma plays the recording of her interview with Mark about the night of her attack, which is presumably how they met, since he was the prosecutor on the case. Emma gets angry and breaks the recorder and tears all the pictures down. As she is sitting on the floor, she hears a car approaching the house and runs to lock the door. Just as it is being opened, she hears Tom on the other side and opens it just a crack. Thank goodness for help. She asks him what he is doing there, to which he tells her that she messaged him, saying that she needed help. He tells her the FBI raided Mark's office on charges of tampering with cases. Emma tells him Mark must have sent him the messages to lure him up there, and she finally opens the door to reveal her situation. Tom is dumbfounded and worries about what to tell the police, because their current situation looks pretty bad. Emma says she doesn't care, and demands he calls the police for help. On his way to grab his phone, another car can be seen approaching the property. That can't be good. He asks if Emma recognizes it, and says it was parked on the side of the road a few miles back. He tells her to lock the door and let him handle it. A young man gets out of the car, claiming to be a plumber Mike hired. Tom tries to turn him away by paying the man, but the man is persistent. Things escalate as Tom becomes more suspicious of the man, and a second man gets out of the truck. He walks up to Tom and stabs him violently. Despite his partner's protests, they break the door down, and we see that the one who stabbed Tom is Bobby. His partner is his brother, Jimmy. Jimmy freaks out, saying they weren't supposed to kill anyone, but Bobby calms him down and tells him that they have to find Emma. She has been hiding behind a wall and sneaks outside to the boat barn. I mean, how did they not hear her drag a body through the house? She finds an anchor in their speedboat and uses it to cut Mark's fingers off and frees herself. Jimmy notices the back door open and the blood trail, so he goes to investigate. Emma hides under the boat tarp, but Jimmy finds Mark's body and goes to alert Bobby. He recognizes Mark as the one who hired them and says they have to find Emma because she is the only one who knows the code to the safe that contains their payment. They go back inside to inspect the safe and discover it requires a combination and a fingerprint to unlock it. Once they are gone, Emma wraps her feet in strips of the tarp and finds a gas can in the boat. She drags it towards the garage with the intent of putting it in the car, but Jimmy comes out and she is forced to lay in the snow to hide. Okay, again, how did he not see her? She makes it to the garage and begins putting gas into the car. Bobby hears her moving around in the garage and goes to inspect. They play a little game of Ring Around the Rosie, but Bobby never spots her. He puts a hole in one of the tires, so it flattens. Outside, Emma hides in the cellar. Bobby spots the cellar and goes to check. Emma tries to go upstairs, but Jimmy is right outside the door, leaving Emma trapped between the two. Just as they are closing in and about to find her, she uses the keys to set off the car alarm and distract them. Smart thinking, Miss Lady. They both rush to check it out, giving Emma time to get away. She checks Tom's body for his car keys and takes his shoes. Bobby and Jimmy are arguing because Jimmy wants to leave, but Bobby reveals he intends to kill Emma for locking him up for 10 years. They go back inside to sweep the house again and find her. Bobby heads upstairs and hears movement in the attic. While he is searching for her, Emma pops out from behind a chair and hits him with a golf club. He falls through the ceiling and lands on his back, knocking him out. Jimmy runs upstairs to check out the noise and gets hit from behind. Emma locks him in a room and makes a run for the car. And go Emma. This girl has some fight in her. She almost gets it started, but Bobby smashes the window and drags her out. In the midst of the struggle, Emma manages to dial 911 and get the call through, but Bobby breaks the phone before she can say anything other than help. Jimmy protests once again, saying they should leave while they still have time, but Bobby threatens to kill him if he doesn't help him finish the job. Jimmy agrees, and Bobby knocks Emma out. Emma wakes up handcuffed to Mark's body once again. She tells them that she doesn't know the code to the safe. Bobby informs her that Mark told him that it was the date he proposed to Emma, but she refuses to tell him because he will simply kill her afterward. Bobby pins her down and says if she doesn't tell him, he will cut off her toes and torture her until she does. She struggles, and Jimmy tries to save her by wrestling Bobby away from her. He finds the gun under the bed and pulls it on Bobby, unaware that it is empty. The two brothers go back and forth about how to handle the situation. Emma tells him that she will give them the code if they uncuff her from the body. Jimmy makes Bobby drop the knife and stand across the room while he uncuffs Emma. As promised, she gives them the code. When they open the safe, Bobby finds a saw inside, with the words engraved on it, saying the diamonds they were promised are near to her heart. Emma realizes that the necklace she is wearing contains the diamonds, and informs them that it will not come off. Bobby says Mark did not intend for them to cut the necklace off her, but for them to cut her off the necklace. That's seriously sick. She pleads with Jimmy, as Jimmy tries to get the necklace off of her using bolt cutters and other tools, but Bobby throws him to the side. Jimmy once again jumps onto Bobby's back to save Emma, and the two wrestle. This time, the scuffle ends with Jimmy being impaled on a coat rack by accident. Bobby blames Emma for his brother's death, and the two fight for the knife. Bobby stabs her in the back of the leg, but Emma hits him in the head with the bolt cutters and cuffs him to Mark's body. She limps away with Bobby following close behind her, dragging Mark along with him. Emma makes it outside to her car and gets it started. She tries to drive away, but Tom and Bobby's cars are blocking her way. She tries to push past them, but fails to do so. Instead, she hits Bobby with the car, but loses control in the snow and crashes into the boat barn. Bobby gets up once again and goes to kill her, but finds the car empty when he gets there. Emma crawls out into the frozen lake, still trying to escape. Bobby follows her, and the two fight atop the ice. He tries to stab her, but misses and stabs the ice. He chokes her, but Emma grabs the knife and stabs him in the shoulder. The ice shatters around him, and Mark's body falls into the water, dragging Bobby down with him. Bobby grabs into Emma's necklace and brings her down too. They struggle beneath the surface as the three of them sink further down. Emma takes the knife once again and plunges it into Bobby's other eye. How fitting. She swims back to the surface, struggling to find an opening. She beats against the ice, slowly losing consciousness, until finally, she is able to break through. She crawls out soaking wet and gasping for air. She takes off her wedding ring and rolls it into the water, sinking along with her husband. Safe to say, that marriage tanked. Emma lies on the ice trying to catch her breath, as sirens can be heard approaching in the background. Okay, I was sure she was going to freeze to death in that water at the end. Hope you enjoyed our summary. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos weekly. Thanks.